Hello and welcome back to Biblewood's Bible Corner. Today we're going to be reading Acts chapter 4 verses 13 through 18, starting with the English Standard Version. Now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were uneducated, common men, they were astonished, and they recognized that they had been with Jesus. But seeing the man who was healed standing beside them, they had nothing to say in opposition. But when they had commanded them to leave the council, they conferred with one another, saying, "What shall we do with these men? For a notable sign has been performed through them, is evident to all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and we cannot deny it. But in order that it may spread no further among the people, let us warn them to speak no more to anyone in this name." So they called them and charged them not to speak or teach at all in the name of Jesus. New Century Version. The leaders saw that Peter and John were not afraid to speak, and they understood that these men had no special training or education, so they were amazed. Then they realized that Peter and John had been with Jesus. Because they saw the healed man standing beside the two apostles, they could say nothing against them. After the leaders ordered them to leave the meeting, they began to talk to each other. They said, "What shall we do with these men? Everyone in Jerusalem knows they have done a great miracle, and we cannot say it is not true. But to keep it from spreading among the people, we must warn them not to talk to people anymore using that name." So they called Peter and John in again and told them not to speak or to teach at all in the name of Jesus. Okay. So, they see something here and they recognize that it's a great thing. They even recognize that it was from Jesus. However, I'm thinking two things are happening here. One, there's a little bit of fear, and two, these Pharisees and Sadducees are no longer going to be looked at as an authority. And that, again, I guess can go back to fear. So they try to come up with a plan. We'll see later if this plan doesn't work. They try to tell Peter and John, "Hey, you cannot talk or teach about Jesus or speak in the name of Jesus anymore." Well, as we see in many examples of the Bible, when people say you can't speak in the name of Jesus, teach in the name of Jesus, it typically gets that person to do it even more so. And like I said, we'll see that here in a little bit with Peter and John as well. They are more eager to keep preaching and teaching Jesus. And again, I'm going to say the same thing needs to happen today. Again, depending on what country you're in, some countries are a whole lot more strict than others. People are encouraged, heavily encouraged, and sometimes even forced with penalty of jail time or worse to keep their mouths shut when it comes to Jesus. If we keep our mouths shut, if we don't talk about Jesus, and Satan wins and gets every single Christian to be quiet, the rocks, the hills, the trees, they're going to cry out and proclaim Jesus. Now that's going to be another video for another time, but I'm going to venture to say they already do, and I think I've talked about it in a previous video anyway. We have to stand firm in our faith and never back down whenever people tell us to be quiet. We can't talk about Jesus. He has to be the forefront of our minds every day. I hope you find encouragement in this, and I hope you have a wonderful God-centered day. Bye.